Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think we are live. I think we are live. I think we are live. Hey, folks, I'm Sekou Wrights. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. There's my I don't forget what it's called. Uh, uh, what is he called? The Angry Birds. Angry Birds. That's my Angry Birds right there. Keep me company. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. I'm going to put a chat in just to make sure that this is working. And for you guys to chat me back. All right. So let me talk about, first of all, what happened last week. What happened last week was I tried to get it hooked up, but I just could not get it right. And that's part of what I need to talk about. The aphasia. The aphasia. It's a word you probably never heard used before, but that's what happens sometimes in my mind when my mind is trying to get something done. It just goes, it flows away. And so it took me all of a week to get sure how to do it this time. So, and then I was still trying to get it, right. So anyway, this is it. And so we're happy that my aphasia wore down a little bit for me to get this through. All right. So that's what happened. So now this is what we're doing. Check out last week's. If you missed it, check out last week's because I reposted it as Get Rich 101, and I put them both next to each other. There's part one and part two. This is part two. All right. Okay, let's go. So my name is Sekou Wrights. I'm an author and a speaker. And now let me tell you something impossible that happened. I survived 2 strokes, and then I survived 2 marathons twice, right? So I'm a 2-time stroke survivor. And what that means is that one of my strokes was called the hemorrhagic stroke. I mispronounced it, but I think that's right, hemorrhagic stroke. But my point of listening it to you is letting you know that each stroke is different. Each stroke is different. You heard about your aunt getting a stroke and you heard about your uncle getting a stroke. Those 2 strokes are different. In my case, my stroke, I had only 17% chance of surviving. 17% chance of surviving. 17% chance of surviving. Right? That's long odds, right? And it was a hard journey back because I lost my ability to speak. And you hear it sometimes when my flow gets a little disjointed, but that's me trying to push past it, right? But I lost my ability to speak. I lost movement on my right side from head to toe. There's pain from my right side from head to toe, still to this day. And that's almost, 3 years now. No, a little bit over 3 years that I've had the stroke. But every single day I've had the pain. So from the top of my head to the bottom of my right foot. So I've had the pain. All right. And my mind was also happily garbled is the best way I could describe it. My brain did not work as well. So as I was just talking about having this thing set up for a week ago, and before the stroke, I'd be like, but with the stroke, I was like, and so it still kicks up, and doctors prescribed me to a wheelchair. Those of you that see me in person know that I do not use a wheelchair, but that's a choice. That's a choice because on those flights, those flights where they take you in a wheelchair all the way down, that feels good. That feels good. But anyway, I choose not to use a wheelchair. and I had full amnesia. I mean, full amnesia. And people talk about a little bit of amnesia, but I had full amnesia because that nice little old lady that came in to check on me, it took me forever to realize that that was my mom. Can you imagine that I didn't recognize my own mother? And my friend drove all the way from North Carolina to Nashville to be with me. And I was like, dude, who are you? Who are you? I couldn't speak, but my affections were like, what's this guy doing here? But he was my best friend. He was my college roommate. My roommate at Morehouse. Didn't recognize him at all. So I had full amnesia. All right. And so after 4 months, after 4 months of all that, what did I decide to do? What did I decide to do? You should drop it in the chat right here. drop it in the chat. Let me know if you know what I decide to do. But I'm not gonna wait for you. I'm gonna say it right off. I ran the marathon. Right, so it's no big secret I talked about before. But 4 months after getting my big stroke, it's only a 17% chance of survival. I decided to run a marathon. I've never run a marathon before. I had never run that distance before. And so it was quite an undertaking. And it was challenging, to say the least. And then that was the New York City Marathon. And then I ran a New York City Marathon again the following year. And I used that occasion to get my fiance to give my fiance a ring so she'd become my fiance. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that I got engaged. Thank you, Fee. Thank you, Fee. Just said that out loud. I just got engaged. Thank you. So that was my second marathon. And here's what shocks people the most. And it trips me out that this is what people shock me the most. But what shocks people the most is that I did not train for either marathon. Either one. And I was just so fixated on raw will that I just did it by raw will. Now, it hurt now. It hurt a lot. It hurt a lot. But I was registered on will, so my willpower was strong. And that's how I made it through. And that's it. I was just running because I refused to live scared. I say. All right, but there are lots of stories I could tell you about the marathon. Lots of stories I could tell you about both marathons. Lots of stories I could tell you about getting engaged. Like all these things that I've mentioned have lots of stories. But I'm here to talk about money, so let me stay on track. So the books. Let me tell you why they exist. There's Get Rich 101. Here we go. Get Rich 101, right? By Sekou Writes. You can see the dollar sign as my S in my name. That's pretty cool. And there's Little Sekou's First Dollar. Isn't that cute? It's a children's book, obviously. And those are the two books that I'm promoting right now. And these are the two I'm promoting right now. Right? These two. And what I'll tell you about them is that Wallace D. Wattles was the person who handed me my map. Wallace D. Wattles, he's right here. Wallace D. Wattles. And he handed me a map by his book that he wrote called The Science of Getting Rich. The Science of Getting Rich. Now, doesn't that sound like something you want to read? Right? The Science of Getting Rich. So I read this book. He wrote this book back in like 1910, 1920, like way, way, way long time ago. I think it was 1910. But anyway, he wrote this book. And I was fascinated by it. So I created a podcast. I created a podcast of this book, and it's still available. Just go to the same name, Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes. It'll come up, and you can see the podcast. What you can really do is read it while you're listening to it. That's the best way I found to get it ingrained within you. And so I've got his book in here, and I'm giving my responses. Like it says, Sekou's reflections on chapter 6, right? And so my talking was translated into words for this book, right? So check that out. And Little Sekou's first dollar. Now, if this book was true, I would be a multimillionaire, right? I would be a multimillionaire. It's not true, but it's true enough. It's true enough to get people moving, So this book, it starts with there's a character called Cooper. And Cooper was real, and he really did give me $1 every time I shook his hand. Like, that's real. I remember I used to shake his hand all the time, and he'd give me $1. I was like, what? What? And so that's true. But I combined him with my grandmother in here, who passed away after she left me a lot of money. And I didn't talk about, well, I talked about what she said here in this book. But what she said in life, I think she was still trying to work her way up to tell me, you know. So anyway, these are the two books. They're both available on Amazon. Check them out. Check them out. Check them out. All right. So there's that. And let's see. Oh, transition to money. So what you need to know is that I rebuilt my finances. I'm still rebuilding now. I am still rebuilding because I know my parents might see this and they know they still give me money. Yes, they'll still give me money, but what's different is how I think about it. How I think about it is different, and that needs to be different for you too, right? So I rebuilt my finances the same way I ran those marathons. No perfect system, no perfect timing, just action, just action, just action, right? So get your pencils and paper. Get your pencils and paper because this is what I need you to write down. Get your pencils and paper. I'm going to give you a second to get your pencils and paper. I'll drink from my Get Rich 101 cup. You see that? See that? All right. Get your pencils and paper, folks. All right. So here's what you got to do. Here's what you got to do. The answer, well, I'll skip to the answer. The answer is what I'm doing is investing in stock. Now, I know some of you pulled back just when I said that, right? I did too. But pause for a second, because I did not see myself as doing anything like this. Wolf of Wall Street? What you talking about? But I discovered investing and I discovered stock, right? And so let me tell you a quick story. I was in Nashville and I was doing that's where all this happened, where I had the stroke. I had the stroke in Nashville, not in New York. Sorry. I'm in New York now, but I had the stroke in Nashville. Anyway, so I was doing a speech at Frisk Museum, and Fee was helping me too. We were doing this co-partner thing, and we were talking about money, right? And then I got excited. I started talking about how I made $1. I turned that $1 into $1,200. I turned that $1 into $1,200. Pause, because I have to explain. Well, see, what happened is one of my aunties gave me some money, and she said that I could take $1 of the money that she gave me and put that on something, to build. So she was saying that I could take $1 of what she's giving me and let that grow to $1,200. But let me explain though. Because I got all hyped then. I didn't explain it well. What happened is I sent a text to her daughter asking something simple like where her mom's stockbroker was, something simple. And she responds and she said, "That's kind of shady." And I was like, "What? Kind of shady?" And it caught me because she's one of my day ones. She's one of my day ones. And so it caught me for sure. I was like, well, I don't want it to seem shady, so let me explain it fully. So I made $1. I turned that $1 into $1,200 in about 30 days. But I did that during a pandemic. So now that I've said that, you've got to think about how everything is affected by money. Money affects everything. Like you see how the pandemic created opportunity, right? So I bought AMC stock. AMC, the movie theater that you go to every weekend, like that's what I bought, right? But I bought it when AMC was $1 or $2, right? And then it shot up because now they were talking about going out of business. And now they weren't talking about going out of business, and it shot up. And I sold when it shot up. So that's great, but that's a condition that can only happen during the pandemic, right? So you've got to be aware. You've got to be aware of these things. Now, granted, for me, it was a luck thing. So my boy hit me up. Was like, I'm buying into AMC right now, and I was like, what? And so there was that sense of cohesion, right? Well, no, not quite cohesion, but you understand what I mean. But I got into it because he got into it. I was like, what? You getting into it? So I got into it, and then I just bid a little bit of money, just a little bit of money, and then it went up, and I was shocked at how much it went up. So that is what got me into investing in stocks because it changed my whole worldview, right? So that's what I mean by taking a pause, right? You can make $1. You can make $1 turn out to be $1,200 if there is something like the pandemic going on. You've got to be mindful of that, right? So I hope my day one will let me off the hook now that I've explained it better. All right. So that's number one. You need to be mindful of your environment. Be mindful of your environment, right? That's number one. Number two is a big one. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Now, I said it and I gave it emphasis because we've all heard it. You've heard somebody talk about somebody pay yourself first. We've all heard it, right? But how many of us have actually done it? Because I know I was like, I'll do that when I get some money. No. You have to do it now. You have to do it now. So write that down if you didn't yet. Write that down. Pay yourself first. Now, there was a book. What's the name of that book? I can't remember the name, but anyway, it's an old book written once again written in the 1900s, early 1900s. But anyway, it talks about. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to remember the name. All right, I'll remember it later when it's time for questions. I'll look at that. All right. So, what he suggested is taking 10%. Taking 10% of your income. 10% of your income. So if you get $100 in, you you move your decimal point one space to the left, and take that $10 and put that $10 away. So $100, take $10, put away. You got $90 left. You got $90 left. You got all your money left, right? You just took $10 and put it to the side. Now I'm gonna tell you a funny story about me. So I was making a six-figure income, before I knew anything about this, and I was balling out of control. I was balling out of control, spending money on everything, but I was not investing. And so I didn't get to this body of wisdom until I was reading multiple books at the same time, and that's when I was doing nothing. I was just doing DoorDash. Now, mind you, I'm actually doing DoorDash. I'm putting on my clothes, driving out on the road, and delivering a pizza from the pizza place to someone's door. Like, that's what I was doing. And I was reading then about pay yourself first, and I was like, I can't though. I can't, because my income is so small now compared to what it was before. I was like, I don't know. But I tried it. I was like, let me try it first. Okay? I took 10% and I set it aside. And I tell you, it worked, because that $90 went. That $90 went, right? But that $10 stayed healthy. And then I tried it again. $90, $10. And it stayed healthy again. And so there's something there that's magical about that. Pay yourself first out of your income. Pay yourself first, because that's how it's going to grow. Now, I know I've talked about this extensively, but I just want to get you to get the what's happening. I hope you're still there, but I got an error message. But anyway, so pay yourself first. That's number 2. Number 3, save up $200. Save up $200. Why $200? Well, this cause I got to give you an amount, right? I got to give you an amount. So save up $200, right? And then you're gonna split that. You're gonna split that $200 into $100 and $100, right? But before you split it, once you save up your $200, you're going to join Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab. Now, I'm sure you've seen these places. I mean, they're everywhere. Well, they're everywhere once you notice them. But I was noticing one on 42nd Street, right by where I live. I've noticed it forever, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in there. And I used to pass it, and I would look and see it. And then I open on weekends, right? They open it on the week, right? And I was like, I don't know. Anyway, Fee and I went one day. We ran there, literally. We ran there. It's about a mile away. We ran there, and we were coming in all, all exuding the energy of runners, right? And so we took over the lobby, and we met this guy, and I was floored. I was asking him, how much money does it cost to get involved? How much money does it cost to get involved? And I kept asking him. And finally he was like, nah, man, nothing. And I was like, come on, man, how much for it? He's like, no, nothing. Then he explained to me that he gets paid out of the something $1 trillion that Charles Schwab gets paid on that end. I was like, oh, now I get it. So he pays himself up by suggesting their things that they offer, right? But he gets no payment from you. Right? So by all means, get yourself a financial advisor. Because once again, I was putting that on for later. Like, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. I'll get a financial advisor later. But listen to this. Do you want your financial advisor to help you make the money or not? Because if you get him now, he can help you build and build and build, right? And so he can start you from the beginning. So get your financial advisor right away. So I'm using random numbers, $200, 100, get your financial advisor. You can get a financial advisor without anything. Let me remind you of this. You can get a financial advisor without anything. You can go to a financial advisor right now, today, and get in line and join for free, right? There's no fees. You don't have to put any income in. You can open it with $1, right? So get a financial advisor quickly now. But I gave you $200. So $200, I'm saying to split it. So 100 is your emergency fund, and $100 is your investment fund, right? Emergency fund, $100, and emergency fund. No, wait, I said that already. Emergency fund, $100, and emergency fund, $100, and investment, $100. There, I got it. All right, all right. So that's what you're going to do, and you're going to stack that money. You're going to stack the money because, according to this book, The Psychology of Money, 40% of Americans can't come up with $400 in an emergency. I'll repeat that. 40% of Americans cannot come up with $400 in an emergency. Like, that means something happens, they got to pay $400, they don't have it. Like, you've got to put yourself on the other side of that, right? So I said $200, but you want to very quickly get that into more. Like $100. I mean, you think about it in doubles. Think about it. You got $200, and then $400, and $600. You want to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. But I understand if you got that money, you got more than that money you want to set aside. Come on, you got less than that money. You want to sneak out a little bit. Come on, like, I want everybody to get something going for themselves, right? But I want you to join Charles Schwab today, right? That's the one I joined. And so I'm sure there's others out there, but the only one that I know is the one that I joined myself. All right. Okay. So you want to stack them. You want to stack your $100 for emergencies and your $100 for investment. So you want to have your money in your emergency fund. And you've got to decide what's an emergency for you. But let me tell you a quick story. I was building my investment. No, I'm sorry, wait a minute. My emergency fund. I was building my emergency fund. And I was driving my mom's car because I was doing DoorDash. So I was driving my mom's car, right? And then something happened to the car, and then the guy came over to look at it. He said, "Yeah, you need a new battery." I was like, "All right, how much is the battery?" It was $97. $97. And guess how much I had in my emergency fund? $100. $100. So I was like, all right, well, this is a legit emergency now, because otherwise the car would be sitting there waiting for someone to pick up some money, right? So I was like, all right, well, go ahead and run it. And so it felt it felt bad for a minute, but then it felt good to know that, hey, that money was right there. It was right there for me. So I paid for the car's battery, and then I had to start over with my emergency fund, but I built it faster this time. Faster this time because I was like, wait a minute now. We all know that something is going to happen. Something is going to happen. We all know this. We all know this, right? So I wanted to be better prepared for the next time. So I got to 100 and I went further than 100. So that for the next time I would be ready. So that's what you have to rely on. You've got to have an emergency fund. You've got to have an emergency fund. You've got to have an emergency fund. So I'm starting you off with $100. Get that, right? If you got more, get that too. Right? Okay. On the investment side, you want to talk to your person at Charles Schwab about this. You want to talk to your person at Charles Schwab about this. Now, I don't mean just sign up for Schwab. You can do this on your phone. You can download the app and be done in a few minutes, right? But I mean, you can do that, but in addition, you need to go meet with someone. You need to go meet with someone. You need to be assigned an advisor that's going to help you, and just talk to them. Tell them that your goal is to grow your money. He's going to be like, all right. So he's going to come up with something, and don't feel embarrassed. They're not going to feel any kind of way about you bringing $1. You know what I'm saying? Because I brought $1. I brought $1 in. They're not going to feel any kind of way about that. So bring in your twos and fews and talk to them about what you want to do. What you want to do. All right? So those are the two things I got for you. The emergency fund and the investment fund. $100 each. All right, I hope you wrote that down. All right. So, and all that said, people have been asking me about the Aladdin system. The Aladdin system. So what I've done thus far is I have done my emergency fund. Right, it's gone up and down a few times. You know, it's because it's been paid for emergencies, and then I got to pay it back. But I've gotten enough of a emergency fund, and also I've got an emergency fund, right? And I've got an investment fund, right? Now they're both at Charles Schwab, right? Now, Charles Schwab, I have separated that into another two things, right? And one of them is for stock trading. It's for stock trading. It's for day trading. And I know. You like, what? Stock trading? I can't. Listen, I did not know at all that I was going to be a stock trader. I saw the Wolf of Wall Street, right? I saw the Wolf of Wall Street, and I was like, oh no, I could never do that. But you're doing it so differently. And because I didn't have a choice. Because the bills started coming in for all the medical things that I mentioned earlier. They started coming in, and it got extreme. And so I had to find some way of thinking bigger about my money. And so that's how I came up with thinking about stock trading. And I have done the thing. I've done the do. So what would you say is how much I am making per day in the Aladdin system? Like, I just want to see how you guys guess this. What is your guess about how I would make money? How much money I'm making per day on Aladdin system? Aladdin. So I'll tell you Aladdin while I wait for you to put your money in. So my Aladdin system just came to me. It just occurred to me that I needed some magic. I needed some magic, right? And now I see Aladdin all the time in Times Square. You got these buses talk about Aladdin, and they've got Aladdin it's right. It's playing in 42nd Street. So I was like, so I am completely fulfilled with my Aladdin thing. My Aladdin thing. All right, so let me see. Nah, nobody wanted to guess. Nobody wanted to guess. All right. All right. Well, in that case, I won't tell. I won't tell then. But I have done a respectful amount of the Aladdin system. So this is what I do. I trade for 15 minutes. 15 minutes once a day. 15 minutes because my show comes on. Oh, I'll tell you about my show in a minute. But I just do 15 minutes in the morning, and now that can be attributed to $250. $250 equals $1 a day. $1 a day equals $250. Like, if you're not excited about that, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you, because that is gold. To get $250, like, just out of arbitrary, just handed you $250, like, that's good. That's good. So anyway, if you want to check out Aladdin, just go to SekouWrites.com, SekouWrites.com, and click on store. You'll see the Aladdin system right there. And get involved. Get involved, because the more people I have involved, this is why I'm pushing it so hard. The more people I have involved talking about it, the faster it grows. The faster it grows. The faster it grows. You start thinking about it, and I start thinking about it, and we all start thinking together. It grows faster. So that's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. So a couple core messages. I didn't wait to be ready. I did not wait to be ready, because I had to move. So I did not wait to be ready. I just moved. Right. I didn't wait to be healed, because I'm still not healed. Not all the way. My right side still hurts me. And sometimes it hurts me more than others. It's very much a jagged up S curve. So I'm still working with it, but I'm still doing what I can do as I work on this. So like 15 minutes a day is more than enough. It's more than enough for me in terms of my daily attributes to sleep and everything else, right? 15 minutes a day. Anyway, I just started because there are still things to this day that I don't even know. Quick story. I went to meet with Trader Daddy recently, a couple of days ago, and he was going through numbers and things that I'd never heard of. I didn't understand, but I still know that I'm still making money because I'm focusing on what I can focus on, what does make sense to me. And I end up ignoring a lot of other things, and focusing on the things that I can make sure I can make money off of. All right? So that's important. All right, so anyway, I wanted to mention the show. I've actually been doing this show for a long time. Because Reverend Melissa, she's a friend of mine. She pushed me to do this show right after my first marathon, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that, because I wanted to wait until my voice was strong, and I had all the right steps and all that. But she kept pushing me, and then I started doing it. So I've been doing this show 5 days a week for 3 years. Like, that's a lot of content. So check out the show. It happens every weekday at 9:45 a.m. So subscribe to YouTube right now. Just click the follow button, subscribe button, and you get the notifications, because I'm on there. Like, seriously, I'm on there a lot, right? So check that out. Also check out the podcast, because this once again, it's great if you can read it while you listen to it. So read it and subscribe to the podcast. This is Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes. This is it, same title, and then get the book. Get the book. All right. And by the way, I am an author. I keep forgetting to say that because people keep asking me, well, what, this other person has your book. It's like, no, that's me. That's me. But my focus is on these books. My focus is on these two books, right? And not the old books. Like, you can still get them, you can still buy them. They're available on Amazon.com. But you can see how much I've grown. Because then I was all about fiction and stories. And now I've gone on to, this is how you do it. This is how you make money for yourself. This is how you build generational wealth. Like, these are important lessons that I'm learning for myself. My mom said, shout out to mom. My mom said I should share it with you. All right. Let's see. And I'll check out the Aladdin syndrome. Please check out the Aladdin situation. Please check on SekouWrites.com and join, because that'll be lots of fun for me. All right. And yeah. And let today be your day one. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Let today be your first one, your day one. All right, folks. So let me see if there's any questions, and then we will see what we got. Oh, Feet King lit me up. Let's see. Did you ever feel fear around your ability to generate income, surviving 2 strokes? The question is, did I ever feel fear? No, because my feelings were very garbled and happy. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. I was kind of like, you know what I mean? And so I went strong on the path towards being a stockbroker, being a stockbroker, and just bursting past the things that would typically scare me. The things that to me today would be like, oh, I don't know about that. Hold on. I was like, ding. So I was just motivating past those things that would have typically scared me. And so now I've gotten way down yardage, right? And so now I'm looking up and like, hey, I'm down yards. I'm doing this now, right? So yeah. Okay. Let's see. To travel the country, I put a ring on it. Yes, I did. Put a ring on it. Yes, I did. That day was an epic story. Yeah. Let me know if you want to hear it. Okay. Save $200 is good for more attainable than creating a $1,000 emergency fund. This is good. Yes. I wanted it to be accessible. And listen, I just told you, when I started my emergency fund, I got $100. I was feeling good about having $100 in my account, and then 97 came and took it, and I was like, oh man. But the benefit of having that money available, not having to scrounge for it, not having to ask somebody for it, just being available as part of my banking system, I was like, here you go, bruh. Here you go. Then I had to rebuild it. rebuild it. But then I had to rebuild faster. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? What would you say to a woman who's over 50 who doesn't believe she can make it more money at this age than she did in the late 30s and 40s? Oh, I'm your man. I'm your boy. Like I'm your boy. Like I was earning $200,000 a year. $200,000 a year, like major money, and I was blowing it. Okay. There we go. You know, just blowing that money, and now coming out of the stroke is when I began. So I began. My stroke. I had my stroke 3 years ago. So I had my stroke July 14th, 2022. I think I got that right. So that's when I had my stroke. And since then I've really been focusing on money. So I've said to people a lot that I was focused on money like this before the stroke, but then after the stroke, like this. Like this. Like I have got to get the money. And so you can do it because I can do it. You can do it because I can do it, right? And you just follow me. Follow me. And don't forget those things that I told you to write down earlier. Right, Angry Bird? Right. Right. Do those things. Write those things down. All right. Okay. Let's see. My skills into income right now. Unemployed, income. Yeah. So what she's talking about is being underemployed, unemployed. So this is my situation because after I woke up from the stroke, after I have gradually forced myself to run and to walk and do all those things, I started doing DoorDash again. And I couldn't do it. I can tell you the whole story about why, but I couldn't do it. And it was so funny because it was so necessary to me before the stroke. I was just like, yeah. But after the stroke, I couldn't do it. So what I had to do was to fixate on any amount of money that comes in. Any amount of money comes in from mom, any amount of money comes in from dad, any amount of money, I've got to stave off some of that money and goes straight to paying myself first to the Charles Schwab account. Anytime. So if it's not 10%, it's 1%. If it's not 1%, it's $1. Like that's how I gotta go. 10%, I don't think I can do 10% right now. 1%, but I can do $1. I can do $1. Every time some money comes in, some money's got to go over to Charles Schwab. Every time. Just that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now once you get over and talk to them, you find out why. You'll find out why. And I'm the benefit of it. I am the benefit. I was like, what? And I spend my money on Charles Schwab because I'm telling you, it's free. First of all, it's free, and it's greatly enriching to be able to talk to someone. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear these things about Bitcoin, for example, and you got somebody that you can call who is known to be seasoned on that. You call them up and say, hey, what's up with that? And I did. I called him about Bitcoin. Totally did. Sure enough. So I had somebody. All right, let's see what else. Join the tribe today. Yes. Speaking added up my books. I'm a 7 times author. Wow. A 7 times author. And meanwhile, I'm posting these 2 books. These 2 books are the 2 that I'm promoting because these are the ones that are close to my heart right now. They're close to my heart. And also this book, what's this book? Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now, because I wrote this book actually before I had the stroke, but it teaches you so well how to survive, how to make better your thing that went wrong. Like this book right here, like I was not going to publish this book. I was not going to publish this book for real. And it helped me. It helped me so much. It helped me so much. It helped me so much. So this is the third book that I'm willing to promote right now. Hack Your Pain is a really good book. Really good book. Because you know change is coming. Change is coming, right? You know it's coming. And it can be big or it can be small, but for the big ones, this is your book. 10 Emergency Survivor Guide and 10 Easy Commandments. 10 Easy Commandments. Come on now. Get that. For you. For you. I'm telling you. All right, so I guess that's it. Let me see if there's anything else. Sharing is caring. That's funny. You can click that subscribe button. Yes, please join. Please join. Please join. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't been promoting this book, this show, because I was using it for me. I was using it for me to practice speaking. I'm only good as I am now because I've been practicing speaking every single day. And I didn't want you guys to see it and be like, you know what I'm saying? But now I am promoting it. And you can see the difference between me then and me now, via 3 years ago, versus now. And yeah, I've seen some progress. I've seen some progress. Ashe. And so make sure you like this. Make sure you like this. Make sure you like this. Make sure you subscribe to this. And also check out the podcast. Let's see. And yes, click that subscribe button and join the money tribe while we build together. We can build together. All right, folks. So I don't see any more questions. So we're going to close on out. Me and my angry bird right here, and we will see you next time. And remember that now is better than perfect. I know someone heard that for the first time just now. Now is better than perfect. All right? All right, let's go. All right, folks. So hit me up if you need help. And let me figure out how to stop this, and I will see you guys later.